Now, good evening. A little update on our foals. Well, I have them on new ground now. They're fully weaned. Well, that lad there at the back is fully weaned, and that's his niece there. That's the granddaughter of my mare at home, and that's the son. So basically, I have them down here. This place here is a bit of ground belonging to my brother. So I brought them down here last night, and I have them on a small little square here at the top. Now this place hasn't been grazed in 12 months. So there's lots and lots and lots of grass on it. I'll go in and have a better look now shortly, but I want to just explain something here now about these foals, how I weaned this lad. Well, basically how I wean him was, the first part of weaning was to take him away from the milk. So what did he see? So to do that, what I did was I kept him in the one field. I tied up the mare and I set up a bit of an electric fence. Obviously he's used to the fence. And I put an electric wire down between himself and the mare. And he could then smell the mare, stand with the mare, but he couldn't suck the mare. So that was the first stage. That went on for about a week. And then I separated them that bit further. I left a bit of a gap, a little bit like that, from there to that fence there in between. So I'd have the foal the far side here, and I'd have the mare where I'm standing here. So I then took away smell. So the first thing was to take away the the milk, dry the mare, and then the second was to take away smell, because horses tend to smell a lot, and a foal will, and its mare and its mother will know each other through smell. So I separated and put a bit of distance between them, and then that took away the smell, but they could still see the mare, and the mare could still see the foal. So then the third stage was, once they got used to having a bit of distance between them, I then put the mare into a stable next door to the foal. So I took away sight, but she could still hear him, and he could still hear her, so that kept him quiet as well. So that went on for another week or two, and then eventually I took them away, and that's where I'm at now. So that's how I wean that foal. Now it's a quiet weaning, it's low stress weaning. I could have just literally put the two of them into a house and took away the foal in front of her and brought the foal away, or put the foal into a house and took away the mare, and that would have been stressful. It would have been over and done with it within 3 days, but I'd rather do it this way. So anyhow, I am after forgetting nuts for these now. This is a good bit away from the house now. I have to drive out, and I'm after forgetting their nuts, but they have really good grass in here. Let me cross the fence here, girly girl. So that lad doesn't need nuts. His manure is soft. So just as well I forgot the nuts. So this place in here now hasn't been grazed, as I said, in 12 months. So there's an awful lot of thatch on the ground, which I call soil armour. Hang on now. So they're happy enough. I don't think they want any mail tonight. Let me go the far side of this fence. Alright lad, you're grand. There's a bag from a bale I fed last year. I must take that away. But I can also explain something here now as well. I was asked a question about, fuck's sake, I'll go through the fence yet. Well, the question I was asked is not pony related. It was about the cattle at home and how I managed not to damage the ground so much having the cattle out. Well, there's, as I said before, there's lots of things to it, like the lighter cattle and the movements. But one thing that I can show here, which is a great example because it's exaggerated here, is the soil armour. So basically, I'm going to go real quick now because them foals are mad. Get up! Soil armour. So basically, this grass here has grown up. Now this is obviously is an extreme example of it, but because you better stay in there, folks. I have beef nuts in the car. I wonder if I gave them some of them just to quieten them. Well, look at, I'll go real quick. There's loads and loads and loads and loads of grass having grown here for 12 months, all fallen. God almighty, all fallen down. And because of that, you can see how spongy it is under the foal's feet there, that's keeping them up. It's kind of wet in there, to be honest with you, under normal circumstances, but there's plenty soil armour on the ground there. I'll show you here now how spongy it is. It's like a mattress underneath. So it keeps them up. It keeps the lighter cattle up, and with the daily moves, they do no harm whatsoever. So I'm rushing this because these foals are very excited, and it's a small, tight area. So they're only just getting to full gallop, and they have to pull the brakes. But they can skid and go through that wire, and I don't want that to happen. So that's Pochine. That's Moonshine. He's her uncle. Yeah. So that's to carry on with the foals. They took a nice bit of that grass. Actually, they ate all the tips. It was like that yesterday. But there's about 2 acres in here. I'm going to graze it tight and see how we get on. Give them bit by bit. So that's the story with the foals. I'm not going to give them any meal tonight. You saw his dung, it's loose. So he's getting plenty of protein here. Enough to grow him. He's fat anyhow. And they're thriving mad. So look, for now, I think I'll have to go because although they've quietened down now. Yeah, but I think I explained that anyhow. The soil armour, lots of grass. It doesn't take 12 months to do that, but even if you did have a place that you needed to exaggerate the protection on the ground, you could skip it for 1 year maybe, or 6 months, or a couple of rotations. Skip it until you get a good crop and let it fall over like that, and it always helps. The long rotation, or the long rests. Yeah, I'm going to go now. I made a video before I came up here of the cattle, but I'll probably post this first. And I'll get that bag out of there now as well. So this is the small little area they're on. They've plenty stuff to eat, and it's ideal for them. So they're in great form, them foals, and I'm going to go. So for now we'll say good luck and goodbye.